Have you ever noticed that people behave very differently at the beginning of a relationship or situation, and then slowly change with time? Psychology explains that this change is not random, but deeply connected to attention, power, and emotional security. Human behavior is strongly influenced by attention, power, and emotional security. And psychology helps us understand why people act differently when they feel safe, valued, or uncertain. When a person enters a new situation such as a new friendship, relationship, classroom, or workplace, the human mind becomes highly alert. At this stage, the brain carefully observes the environment, the people involved, and their reactions. This alertness exists because the mind wants to understand whether the situation is safe or risky. During this phase, most people behave in a very careful and positive way. They speak politely, listen attentively, respond quickly, and try to show their best behavior. This is not fake behavior. It is a natural psychological response driven by uncertainty and the need for acceptance. In the beginning, attention plays a very powerful role. When a person wants attention, approval, or emotional connection, the brain increases effort. The mind pushes the individual to invest more energy into communication and behavior. This is why people often appear more caring, more interested, and more emotionally available at the start. Psychology explains this as motivation-based behavior. The effort comes from the desire to be liked, valued, or emotionally secure. At this stage, attention is not guaranteed, so the brain works harder to earn it. As time passes, the situation slowly changes. When a person starts receiving consistent attention, acceptance, and emotional security, the brain begins to relax. The alert phase slowly turns into a comfort phase. Emotional security means that the person feels safe and confident that the connection or situation will not easily disappear. Once this feeling develops, the mind no longer feels the same urgency to impress or prove itself. As a result, effort naturally begins to decrease. This is where behavior change becomes visible. Many people misunderstand this change. They compare the current behavior with the behavior at the beginning and assume that something is wrong. They may believe that the other person has lost interest, stopped caring, or changed intentionally. Psychology explains that this is often not the case. The change usually reflects a shift in the internal state of the mind, rather than a loss of emotion or respect. The human brain is designed to conserve energy once it feels safe. When effort is no longer necessary for survival or acceptance, the brain reduces it automatically. This pattern can be seen in many real-life situations. For example, when a student joins a new class, they are often very disciplined, punctual, and attentive. They fear making mistakes and want a good impression. Over time, once they feel comfortable with the teacher and classmates, their behavior becomes more relaxed. They may speak more freely and act casually. This does not mean the student has become careless. It means the student feels emotionally secure in the environment. The same pattern appears in friendships and relationships. In the beginning, people often communicate frequently and express strong interest. They make time and effort because attention is not yet secure. Once emotional security develops, communication patterns may change. Messages may become less frequent, and emotional expression may reduce. This does not always mean the bond is weak. It often means the mind assumes stability and reduces effort accordingly. Attention power also creates an important psychological effect known as power imbalance. The person who feels more emotionally secure often holds more psychological power in the relationship. They feel less pressure to act or respond quickly. On the other hand, the person who feels less